Hey, good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. How's everybody doing this morning?
Awesome.
Good
Great.
Good
morning.
morning. Happy
Uh,
2025.
Woo!
Yes, that's true. That's true. Since our last recording, this is Happy New Year. Well, as you can see, for those that regularly tune in to Voices of Health Point, I'm in a little bit different setting, a little bit different mode of dress. And so that's all good. It's how we roll here. So I'm actually, Emily and I are boarding a train heading to Chicago. And so that won't stop us from attending our Voices of Health Point. So we've got a fun program today, as we always do. We always have so many good things that just kind of get bounced around. But, we just have kind of on the docket today, more or less a reminder and an appreciation for what we have coming up here starting on Monday evening. For those that are taking part in the Lean team, there is the start of that starting with this Monday evening, 8 p.m., 8 to 8:30, so about 30-minute Zoom. That will be starting the kickoff of the, I call it Cohort 1 of 2025, for people that want to do a HealthPointe cycle. That could be to lose weight, that could be to help with diabetes, that could be just to get on a healthy start to the year. A lot of people are doing, New Year's resolutions. This will actually help anchor that in, and we'll continue that for a 6-week cycle, and then have a celebratory week after that as well. So I just wanted to, have that be my segment, where I just wanted to remind those that are considering that to join in. We'll be getting the link out for the Zoom meeting. We have a bit of a promotional flyer, but those that want to come in and be part of that community for the launch on that's 8 p.m. this Monday, Eastern Standard Time. We'll all get together for 30 minutes to kick things off. With that, I'll turn it over to whoever would like to chat next. Maybe Carol?
Yep. Hi, Eric. Well, first of all, thank you for making this happen on the train. You know what? Leaders make things happen no matter what's going on. For us, we have a crew of painters coming here in a few minutes, so I might not be able to get back in my house when we get back at the end of this call. But you know what? No matter what happens in life and things go on, we just do things anyway. And we're very excited about our upcoming Lean team. It's going to be 8 segments, taking us through the 6 cycles of weeks. And I had a few little reminders, which I left at home. So I'm going to kind of wing it. But a couple things. One is I want to remind everybody that we're going to really keep this 30 minutes or under. And so we want to start right at 8 o'clock. So have you and your folks to be ready, so that when our wonderful Eric is going to administrate this, I'm going to basically run it, but he's going to be the man that makes it all happen and make me look good, right, Eric?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love
taking...
that role.
Well, we really appreciate that. And then we will obviously have Eric sharing on some of the sessions, and we'll have other people sharing also. We're going to have Sharon Webb on one of the sessions. And good morning. I think she's going to be hitting on the power of Nutrilite and power of supplementation and what have you. And it's always great to hear from Sharon. And we'll have others of you in different situations, and mostly they'll probably be in an interview type mode to keep things clipping along and exciting for people. So I just want everybody to know that make sure you impress upon your people that this is a 30-minute commitment on Monday nights, and to clear your schedules, because we're not going to be sending a recording out afterwards. This is where they meet, because the synergy of being together live at that point in time is very powerful in a program like this. I should probably stop here. Sorry about that. Anyway, so that's that. I want to remind people the Conquer Your Negative Thoughts. I don't know if you can see that or not. Make sure that everybody's got that book. I started reading it. I got through about the first quarter of it. And I'll tell you something. I love the Atomic Habits. And for all of us, that is the book that we read. But for a new person, this Control Your Negative Thoughts, and thank you, Kathy Munoz, for finding that in the hospital while you were doing your steps. Well, either your mother or your husband was having some kind of procedure done. But it's a very, very good book for new people because it really talks about the negative thoughts that people come in at, and there will be new people on this, and they will have thoughts of, I've tried every diet. I hope this works for me. I'm not sure I can do it. Will I be able to be a valued person on this? And, you know, a comparison and all those things that go through people in their minds. And so we want to put them at ease that this is an uplifting program. This is not a judgment program. This is uplifting to help them get to their goals with the help of their coach on a day-to-day basis. We're going to put heavy emphasis on accountability to coaching because you guys that are having people on, we want you to be interacting very closely with them. Another thing is pull questions out of them. If they have questions, they have concerns or whatever, first of all, we will work to address those right away for the person that's asking the question to their coach. And if their coach can't answer the question or feels that they want input from upline, they can do that. But we also want to take that content and we want to build it into the next HealthPointe session, because if it's on one person's mind, it's probably on many people's minds. And so we can wrap that into part of our segment. And probably the way it's going to lay out, and this is nothing hard fast yet, but we'll probably, I'll probably open the program and kind of talk about where we are in the program and what we want to accomplish, and maybe the specific person that we're going to be talking with that's going to be sharing on that session. And that will probably be the first part of the program. And then I'm hoping that the second part will be addressing questions, addressing concerns, addressing anything that's on people's minds. And so I would encourage you as coaches to make sure that the people you've invited on are giving you those questions so that we can not only address them for them, but we can also address them as part of the overall program of the next week's session. So the questions, the sooner you can get the questions in, the easier it is for us to have comprehensive answers and to build around that. So we want to really—
Hey, Carol.
Yes.
I just wanted to accentuate on that point, if I might. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, please.
But I think this is a something of a kind of a key point, and you and I, of course, have chatted this and bounced this around, and so when it comes to the questions, I think, you know, first, and Carol, you're definitely communicating this, and that is that, you know, questions that would be addressed in a format of a Monday night would be things that would be questions that may be valuable to other people. So in other words, it's probably easiest to say, like, what wouldn't be. Like, if you have a specific question because you have a gallbladder issue or a big toe issue or something like that, that would be a wonderful question to ask of your coach who knows you very well and knows your path, knows your situation, and that's a unique, maybe medical history, or it doesn't even have to be a medical history. It can be, you know, you have your in-laws living with you and stuff like that. Well, that may or may not be valuable for everybody else. But first and foremost, you know, the questions that would be valuable to the community at large are the ones that we'll want to address on there. And then secondly, and this is what you were just talking about, Carol, those that, you know, we have a tight schedule, right? We're going to hustle through this. That's going to pass very quickly, 30 minutes. And so if there's questions that you would like to have asked or have a discussion on, be sure to get those to your coach or get those to someone, one of us are moderating or on the program ahead of time, because those that come in first are going to be addressed first. And if we don't have time for all the questions, we're going to, you know, postpone those to the following week. And that comes from a format that I'm very used to in some of the courses that I take where we have this type of a format. And the people that get those questions in to the moderator, those get addressed. And if there's time, then other questions, or sometimes we even unmute and go live, but we'll determine that. But I just wanted to comment on that because that's one of the values of having a live interaction, is that kind of that discussion part. We won't have a lot of that because we won't have a lot of time, but there will be a little bit, and that'll be kind of the format. Okay,
Yes,
that's it,
I
Carol.
think that's very important points, Eric. Thank you so much for that. And I also, because this will be live, what we're asking people to do is keep themselves muted, because when the speaker is talking, if you're hearing background noise, and Eric, I think you will have a handle on that anyway, being our administrator.
Yeah, yes, that's will be one of my roles, is to bring that hammer
Lord.
down.
Most important role.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have the greatest topic, but if people can't hear you,
right.
yeah. And the other thing too is remind people if they can either be on a live camera or they can not, and that's totally up to them, because some people are very private about this, and so this won't be calling out on people or any of that type of thing, or even referring to anybody unless they've already pre-established that they want that part of the program. But otherwise, it's going to be very discreet, very private for people. So if they have a live camera, know it's a live camera. We've had various and sundry different live camera experiences that we don't want. And so the easiest thing is up to them. They want to sit and listen, they want to be live, that's fine. But know you're on a hot camera, and you are sitting and listening. You're not in bed eating popcorn, watching TV, and various and sundry other things. So so that's a little warning. And what's this? Eric?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. Oh yes, I want to thank you. Eric put together a really, really nice kind of an overview of what the HealthPointe Lean Team is all about, and the HealthPointe program in general. Very, very well done. And I am going to be sending that out this morning. I wanted to last night, but I want to make sure that I did it in a proper format. So that will go out this morning, and I probably will attach the video, the recording of the Monday night that we explained this whole thing also.
Yeah,
so people could go ahead.
Again, just to accentuate that, just even for my personal self, when I reviewed that PDF that you're mentioning that I put together, yeah, it's good, and I appreciate your commentary on it. But what really fills in the gap, and it's only 30 minutes long, is the YouTube that you have, where it's a recording of the announcement of that program. So I'd really encourage people to listen to your link that you'll have with the PDF, and between the two, it's really clear and exciting about what the program is. So I just want to emphasize your talk on that is very important.
Well, I think both of them are, and it's very good that we have a visual and an audio. And I would encourage folks, if you've been talking to people and they were kind of on the fence, I am putting together my email list today. I can add on tomorrow, but don't start flooding me at 7:30 on Monday night, because I won't be able to handle that, nor will Eric. So we want to make sure that, I would say by Sunday night, early Monday morning at the very latest, the people that are going to commit, give me their text and their email. I'll shoot it out, make sure that everybody knows who I am, because tell them it'll be coming from undisclosed recipients, so that they know their email isn't being flashed out there amongst everybody, or this is going to be under undisclosed recipients, and I'll make this subject pretty obvious so they'll know to look for it. And it will have a link that Eric is setting up. That will be a new link. It'll be the same every week, but it's a different link than we've ever used. Correct, Eric?
That is correct. So for example, the Zoom link that everyone is using for today for Saturday morning walk and talk, which again, as you noted, Carol, is the same every week. But that will not be the link that we'll be using for the Monday night Lean Team. That will be a different one. It will be the same every week, but it will be different than what this morning's is.
And I'll make sure that Lean Team is the subject matter so that when they look at their emails, if they see an undisclosed recipient, they know that when it says Lean Team, that's them, and that's the link. And I will send it out every week, kind of as a reminder, and mostly as a reminder, but it'll be the same link. So that's that. Make sure that they've got their orders put in. I think most of you have done a really good job on that. And some will be working with apps, some will be working with hard copy guides. So we're not going to put a lot of emphasis on that. We're going to put emphasis more on the information and huge emphasis on the daily messages. They can either read them if they have an app, or Eric, your administrative person, did such a beautiful job putting a playlist together for us. And so we'll make sure that gets out to everybody so that they can, well, they should have it anyway, but to make sure that they are listening to the messages every single day. Those messages are very clear, concise, short. And if we ask people to, go ahead.
I was just going to say on the short part, we're talking 2 minutes probably on average. So
Yes.
your daily messages is literally like while you're brushing your teeth, you can listen to your daily message.
And they're very clear and concise and succinct and very specific for that day. So it's important for them not to listen to 7 messages at a time and then not listen to any. It's important for them to listen to the message of the day. If they want to listen to future messages, they can, but make sure that every day you listen to the pertinent message of that day. And so if we ask them to listen to or watch or read or whatever the format, a message that's 2 minutes long, and we ask them to do 15 minutes of reading out of Conquer Your Negative Thoughts, I don't think that's too much to ask a person that's coming in cold that doesn't normally read or listen. I think that's pretty light. And then what we've talked about, and we don't have that 100% in place yet, just because of a few variables, but we will maybe do an audio of the week that we can send to them, that they can listen to and re-listen. So I think that will be fun. We don't want to overpower people because, like I say, there's going to be new people on. So,
yeah, I think that's a good point. Is that anytime you start a program, whether it's a class or anything else like that, there's some question as to, oh boy, am I prepared enough? Am I ready or whatever? I think the emphasis here is just show up. Step into the river and let the kind of just float down the river with the rest of us. This is not a hard program, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have, fun in the sense of not like, laughing and, slapping each other's back type of stuff, but just, being part of a community is fun. It's just really enjoyable. And I know we've got maybe Eileen that wanted to chat here about some folks perhaps. And since only because I might be having to board a train here shortly, let me just ask the question, Carol, and I'm sorry I didn't kind of prepare for this, but for people that are currently on HealthPointe and they want to maybe modify their 6-week cycle to align with this January 6th start and kind of be part of that community. I'm thinking that would be, for the folks that I coach, if you choose to do that, like, let's just say that you're in week 3 or whatever, and you're like, boy, we've got this January 2025 cohort that's starting January 6th, maybe I'll restart with that cycle and be part of the community. I'll just say for people that I'm coaching, that's definitely advisable. I just wonder if anybody, Carol, Eileen, anybody has any thoughts on that as well.
Actually, Eileen does, and we've discussed this, and I think I would leave it up to the coach. I think Eileen's got a couple people that she had already started on January, or will have already started our coaching day on January 6th. The coach just has to work real carefully and closely with them because some of the messages won't be pertinent for their particular day. It'll all come out in the wash, but they'll have to work that, or they can just start up the program. I think it's just kind of depending on the coach and the particular person that they're dealing with. I don't, because there's so many variables and so many different situations.
That's a good point. That's
Yeah,
a good point. Yeah, if in doubt, check with your coach and see what they say. That's a
Yeah.
great idea. So excellent, excellent. Well, thank you. And Eileen, I see you there, and now I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so I have 4 brand new people, which I'm excited about, maybe a 5th. And 2 of them were already planning on starting on the 6th. So I'm not sure about how that's going to work. But they're still joining in every Monday night. So I'm really excited about it. And then I have 2 people who, one of them is going to realign and start on the 13th with everybody. And one's going to be a week behind because she already did 1 cycle. So anyway, I'm really excited. Bruce and I are going to just be on with everybody and do that cycle. And we've been kind of cruising on maintenance for a while, and we're going to lose a little bit of weight we gained when we didn't do maintenance correctly. So we're really excited to join everybody. And I'm so excited about the 4 and possibly 5 new people.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's the secret right there, is getting those new people on. What we don't want is a community club. We want a community of folks that are getting healthy and proceeding ahead. And I think the new people will drive that. That'll keep it very elementary for new people. Saturday mornings, we can learn a lot of things other than, aside from HealthPointe or outside of HealthPointe that lead to HealthPointe. But it's a more mature group at this point. And I think that going through the lean team, we'll keep it very elementary. We'll kind of rehash and refocus on the uniqueness, and use your term, Eric, the nuances of HealthPointe, and remind everybody of those, because as you work with the program for a long time, sometimes things get a little bit loosey-goosey. And so we want to tighten up the reins, and I think doing it with new people is really, really important.
I think that's one of the things. It's going to be so fantastic. And kudos to you and Bruce, Eileen. That is super exciting.
Yes.
And that's what this is all about, right? Is helping more and more people get healthy. And I don't know, again, we didn't preamble this. So if there's any questions that I ask that are not, relevant, or, hey, maybe it's just answer or don't answer the question that I was going to ask Eileen. But we've got a couple of days between now and Monday evening, so people are actively still talking with people. So do you have any recommendations, Eileen? Any best practices? Were these friends? Were these people that saw what, you and Bruce, lost, 110 pounds collectively. So you guys are literally walking, talking billboards, which is wonderful. But what can you share as far as people reaching out to others between now and Monday evening?
Well, over time, people always ask you about it, and maybe they don't want to make a commitment. So it just happened that this is a good time of year for everybody. It's the beginning of a new year. They want to make some changes. So we just talked to some friends, and even some people who have, I have someone who did HealthPointe. She's like in her 20s, and she stopped doing it with a coach, and she hasn't been doing anything. So that's another person who may join. You have to check in. That would be number 6. So just touch base with people you've talked to. You don't want to be like, hey, do you want to lose weight? But most people will say, yeah, I'd like to lose some weight. You don't want to insult anybody, but most people have talked to you about it, So those who have talked to you about it, we just reached out to.
Oh, that's great advice. And like you said too, on the one hand, we go, well, what is it, Ben Physic, that says it's not what you eat between Thanksgiving and New Year's that makes the difference. It's what you eat between New Year's and Thanksgiving that makes the difference. And so on the one hand, you know, we are kind of falling prey to the whole promotional period of New Year's resolutions and stuff, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, let's let that be, like you said, Eileen, it is on people's mind. A lot of people are coming out of this season and they're like, oh, you know, I didn't feel too good going into it, and now I really feel, bad, and I want to make a change. And here we are. We have something started on, you know, this coming Monday evening. So I think that's great, Eileen.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's very helpful. I think it's going to be helpful to all of us, really, because there's so much food around between Thanksgiving and Christmas, like so much food. Oh, you never have it this time of year. It's only out now.
Yeah.
This is nice to get on with the new year and stop with all this food you can only have once a year. I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Emily and I have, you know, fortunately this year we didn't have to practice the regifting of those sweets that you get. You know, that's the big thing, is like regifting, you know, and anybody that's given us baked goods or whatever that might be listening to this, sorry, that's kind of the cat's out of the bag here, but that's what happens with a lot of it. But some of it kind of hangs back and stays on your counter, and it's just reality, and this is life. And you know, it's not, Carol, as you often say, it's not about perfection. So the reality is that most of us around this season, this Thanksgiving to New Year's, Christmas, etc., most of us do feel a little, you know, especially if we know what it's like to feel nice and healthy and super high energy. So we're raring to get back into it. Emily and I are, for sure. And I can totally relate to what you're saying, Eileen, and I know you too, Carol.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page on all of this, and looking forward to it. And encourage your people, if they're having a very nice experience that they feel comfortable sharing. Doesn't have to be 20 pounds, but maybe 5 pounds if they've lost. And I might show that 5-pound fat so that they are encouraged that even 5 pounds, look at the difference it makes and how you're going to feel without that. But yeah, if people are excited about it and want to do a little 1 or 2 sentence about how the HealthPointe made them feel, just again, let us know in advance. Don't call on people. We don't want to intimidate people. This is something that, unless somebody chimes in and says, oh yeah, I had that same experience, we can't hold that back. But again, we don't want to put people in the hot seat either.
Something I wanted to share too, as you were mentioning about, you know, 20 pounds or 5 pounds, or I would even say, you know, where people might think 0 pounds. Let's hit on that a bit, particularly for those that are in a space right now. I know we've got some people, I don't think Erica is on here right now, but she might hear this recording, but she comes from the space of already working with people in physical fitness and so forth. And there can be people that may want to do the program, even though they feel very happy with their weight. With 2 things on that. One is there is what's called SOFI. That's actually a term used in medicine. Skinny on the outside, fat on the inside is, you know, I'm not saying that, that's a medical term. So we're talking about visceral fat, liver fat, that it can be an issue. So somebody might be like, well, gee, I don't feel like I necessarily have 20 pounds or 50 pounds or 100 pounds to lose, but can I do the, you know, can I tap into this and get going on this Monday, January 6th start? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, you can just kind of clean up that inner visceral fat, which is the most dangerous fat. But let's say that you don't even have that going on. Maybe you just want to kind of, as I say, do your residency. You know, you can't
Yes.
if you want to help people if you want to be in a position to build business and help people out there, you've got to not know this academically. You have to experience it, in my opinion. And so then you might want to tap into the program, participate in it, so that you learn by doing, and then you are getting your education so that you're more prepared. So don't think that if you don't have 100 pounds to lose or 50 pounds to lose or whatever, that this isn't something that could be for you. It definitely can be.
Yeah, that's a good point because it's actually for me, it's a prerequisite if they're going to be a coach to go through the 6-week cycle. So I've got painters and I'm 2 doors down, so I'm going to have to cancel out. And Eric, I think we might have lost you. Okay, there you go.
Actually, I am here, but I think everything's kind of coming together. And
Yeah.
I might make a suggestion here. You've got painters. I literally have a train to catch to go to Chicago. So maybe we kind of cut this short.
Let's cut it.
All right. Okay. That'll be less stress on me and my wife and our friends that are joining us. So any closing comments from anybody in the last couple of minutes here?
Thank you, Eric, for doing
Yeah.
for putting us together this morning, and looking forward to Monday. And yeah, I agree with cutting it short because, as you know, I'm getting ready for a funeral. So
Yes.
Everybody
We've
got
all
stuff.
everybody's got stuff going on today. Well,
Let's get on track.
yes, Bruce, great to see you, man.
Hi, Bruce.
You are looking so good, man.
You too, man.
Guys, you got to see these pictures, these before and after pictures of Bruce and Eileen. You guys
Yeah.
tap in Monday evening. You'll see Bruce and Eileen, Carol and myself, and a bunch of fun people. We'll all have a lot of good times together. We'll learn a lot. We'll get great results. I'm looking forward to it. But for now, I'm going to go hop on that train and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
safe travels.
Take care.
Bon voyage.